Welcome to Transmissions, where we talk all Hasbro, Takara, and third-party Transformers. On this episode, the HasLab Liokaiser passes another milestone, some TFcon LA exclusives have finally been announced, and we've got all the Transformers reveals from Toy Fair 2025. Today is Wednesday, March 5th, 2025, and this is episode 632 of Transmissions.
Welcome to Transmissions, the podcast that welcomes the return of the Toy Fair Transformers Throwdown. I'm your host, Charles, aka Big C, and I'm joined by the excellent Transmissions team. Jeremy, aka Yakko.
Hello.
And Daryl, the Cybertronian Beast.
Charles, it's been like 30 seconds and you've not thanked me yet. This is ridiculous. Let's talk Transformers.
You're welcome. All right. Unfortunately, we have to start off with on a sad note. We just learned this week that Roberto Orsi, who was the writer and producer on the Transformers 2007 movie, along with lots of other films and television projects, including Star Trek, recent Star Trek shows, has passed away. He had a battle with kidney disease for a long time, and he was only 51 years old. So it's a really sad time to see someone pass away so young. He worked on so much of the stuff of the modern Transformers stuff that actually brought Transformers into the zeitgeist, regardless of your feelings on how the movies turned out, or if you liked them or hated them, or whatever. They did bring Transformers into the modern cultural zeitgeist, and it's been here to stay for almost 20 years now. So he was really a big part of that and responsible for that. So it's just sad to see for his family to lose at such a young age. So condolences to his family and friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so sorry to start off on a bad note, but we'll try to continue on. It is hopefully we'll have some fun in this show. There's lots of new Transformer stuff this week with Toy Fair happening, so we'll talk all about that going forward. But let's bring the mood up a little bit by giving away some free stuff. So we've got our Toyhax $10 gift code drawing for the month of February 2025. Of course, want to remind you that we do have our 15% off gift code, promo code for Toyhax for the month of March. It's now playback. So that will be until March 31st. So you've got a whole month to use that code playback at toyhax.com. So
and
now,
if you missed the code, just go back a little bit and play it back. I've been waiting all day.
So
I have to work with these jokers. Find that shit hilarious.
And you don't thank us for that either.
It's crazy. You guys are crazy.
So if whoever wins the $10 gift code will be able to use that code and apply that playback code as well to get, they combine that $10 they can spend and then make it go even further, maybe stretch it even to like $11.50 or something like that. You can spend a lot of money on
you can get some
stickers.
of the big sticker sheets.
All right, we're gonna pick the winner. So as always, every month we have this contest where we pick a lucky listener to get a $10 gift code from Toyhax, and they can use it at toyhax.com to buy any of their sticker sheets or any other accessories on their site. So we take a drawing from all our donatrons. So we've got them in our list. Of course, if you are not a donatron and you'd like to enter the contest, you can just by sending an email to contest@transmissionspodcast.com. Just telling us you'd like to enter for that month, and then send us a picture of some toy you'd like to get some stickers for. So just give us a little insight into your collection. No one did that last month, so we've just got our donatrons on the list this time. So, Jeremy, is your assistant ready to help us out?
Computer, are you ready?
I'm ready when you are.
All right. Let's pick a number between 1 and 64.
Computer, give me a random number between 1 and 64.
Here's a number between 1 and 64. It's 25.
25. John Triclops.
Oh, that's the name I
Long
haven't heard in a
time
while.
donatron. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Well done. So John Triclops will be getting you your $10 gift code as soon as Daryl figures it out.
Yeah.
You got those other codes already sent out from the previous months, right? Right, Daryl?
All right.
Why is that's not a joke? I was asking a real question.
Sure thing.
I think last I remember, you were up to date, or now you're like a month behind. You're in good shape compared to where you were last year.
Right on.
Has Daryl been replaced with the DAI role AI that that TFU.info has been promoting?
All right.
Okay, moving on.
Let's go.
We do want to mention Jeremy was on a guest podcast recently. So Jeremy, tell us all about that.
Yeah, I was
okay.
I was on the second episode of a new podcast called The Monitor Tapes, all about DC's Crisis on Infinite Earths, and I got to. It's not doing like a issue by issue. They're it's kind of going more in depth into the characters and everything. So I got to talk about the Flash, which is one of my favorite DC characters, and talking about the sacrifice that the Flash made in the series, and it was a lot of fun. It's always interesting when you're going on to some other show and you've never met the people, so you don't know if you're gonna gel with them. And I thought we just had a lot of fun. Dave and Doug were just a blast to talk to. I'm hoping I can go on again sometime, talk about something else related to Crisis, because Crisis is one of those things in DC that I just read over and over. But if you want to check it out, you can go to brickcrisis.com. We'll have a link in the show notes as well, and check it out. It's unlike our show. There's not a big backlog, just 2 episodes, so you can consume that pretty quickly, and it was a lot of fun. Thanks to them for having me on.
As they say in comics, the perfect jumping on point.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I listened to it. I enjoyed it, and having not had, like, I am of course familiar with Crisis on Infinite Earths, but having not actually read it myself and not really being deep into the DC universe, I still really enjoyed listening to it and listening to you guys talk about stuff. So it was fun. So I encourage everyone to go check it out.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it made it into the show. I think it was before they started recording the actual episode, but we did have some talk about Transformers stuff before we got into it, and one of the hosts is from the UK, so I mentioned like the UK comics and stuff, and so we got into some discussion there before we got into the DC stuff. I'm sure that none of that made the show.
It did not, unfortunately. I would like to hear that though. Now that you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Also, one thing that I did find a tiny bit annoying about the show, and I mean this is my problem, not their problem, but they kept calling Optimus Prime Op Prime, and that's
I
that's
think
like that's like Optimus having a mouth.
I think that's a UK thing. I was also on the RFC Toy Fair stream this last weekend, and um, Matt, he used to go by Timey Two Wimey. He changed his handle, but he was talking about how they in the UK they didn't get the cartoon until much later than the comics. So that like I think something like calling Optimus Prime Op would be just like reading it being your main source of the content.
Right.
Or seeing the cartoon, we hear them say Optimus over and over and over, so that just rolls off the tongue better.
Yep. Like I said, not it's fine, but I have problems.
We all do.
All right, well, let's get into the show. We're gonna start off as since it's been we've still got more news about HasLab. Let's start off with HasLab or HasBlab, I should say.
All right. So between last week and this week, they have crossed the 13,000 backers level, and they have unlocked Death Cobra. So we got some new pictures of Death Cobra. I think most of these are new. We got one of those things they've been putting out on Instagram with some stats. So he can be the left arm or the shoulder cannon of Liokaiser. And we have some pictures here. I think this one was on the site before. But pretty cool. I don't think we were ever doubting that this was going to be hit. So the next tier, if I can get this page up, next tier is 16,000, which is the nunchucks. And we have 22 days. I think they're going to hit it. I'm wondering though, I mean, it does seem to be slowing down a little bit. So I'm wondering if they're going to hit all three things. I mean, I'm sure they'll tweak the numbers where it'll work and we get all the international sales, but anyway, that is what we got there. And then we have another Instagram thing talking about Hellbat, which the bot formerly known as Hellbat, and showing that he could be the left arm. And just we have some pictures of his different modes. There's that hollowness in the arms that Dr. Pants was not too happy about. And we have some feedback back about that later. But if you're getting this, I mean, it's a more look at some of the characters. And then we have from Toy Fair, Evan and Emily from the design team did a breakdown of the gray model. We have some images here from TFW where they went through and got screenshots of the different bits of it. So we'll have a link if you want to watch that. Basically, they're just going through the gray prototype and going through all the different bots. So you can see them. He's got them here in robot mode too. But if you want to check that out, we'll have a link in the show notes. It's probably much better looking at the video rather than these still images. But they all look nice and chunky, so that's good.
How likely is it that we're going to eventually get a G.I. Joe collaboration of Death Cobra redone as Serpentor?
I would think that's going to be that would be a future San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. It's my guess.
Mm.
But they've never said that they aren't going to redo these like they did with Unicron. Unicron, they said they would never redo that one again. I don't think they're saying that on any of the others.
All the other ones
I
are
mean,
very unique,
Yeah.
to their own. I mean, maybe the skeletons of these, but like, I don't know. I think the likelihood that we'll see another recoloring of, Victory Saber is unlikely.
Yeah.
Maybe another run of it, but that seems unlikely as well, seeing as it was already, it was done for a certain amount of a certain audience, right? So, I mean, they're
I
paying
could
for
see
these
them.
models to be made, and then maybe the engineering can be used for something else, but yeah, I don't know if
I
we'll
could
see
see
another
them
Victory Saber or
like 10
Liokaiser.
years down the line doing a anniversary release. I mean, give it some time. With the Omega Prime, there's a recolor that they could do right away. The yellow and the what was it, the black and
I mean, that's
blue.
the Sam's Club one, right? Like, it never
Yeah.
appeared in the show.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's recolors. There's a bunch of different recolors for all of these things. Like, there's a black, Victory Saber, right? Like, it's not something that I expect them to do at a full scale, for these things.
Yeah.
It's a very small audience. But this, I mean, I like I said, I fully expect them to reuse the engineering in these at some point, because of the fact that just the way that current, Transformers engineering is,
Mm-hmm.
they're not going to use a mold once and just kind of toss it. They'll use it again for something else.
Yeah.
It's
Sure, even if it's just like a part of the skeleton, like
Yeah.
a particular joint, they're like, oh, we can use this in this other figure.
What might be interesting is a full-on GI Joe combiner, right?
Mhm.
And it's a really crazy kind of thing, but each character out of this Liokaiser is made up of it made into a GI Joe vehicle character kind of thing, and then it becomes some kind of weird and wacky combiner that never existed before. But you've got your Serpentor, right? Because of the color scheme, it works. I mean, it's literally right there, like everyone can see it. But they kind of use the other 5 to kind of build something else, and then you can all combine into some kind of wacky Cobra
You'll be
mechanized.
first in line for
killing
that
machine.
combiner, right?
I would love it. Let's do it. Yeah.
Cobra, la 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 la.
He doesn't get that reference.
Nope. What are you talking about?
I think that's all our HasBlab this week. Still waiting on any shipping news for Omega Prime.
I'm seeing people starting to get them. So
but I haven't gotten the confirm your address.
Oh,
me neither.
You guys aren't on Reddit very often.
I mean, are those people getting it because they ordered it or they found it off the back of a truck?
Either way, there's people are starting to get it though.
Well, we'll let you know if we get it, Daryl.
Please do.
All right, well, let's jump into the rest of the show, and it's pretty much all Toy Fair from this point on. So let's start off with some quick hits.
All right, and we're going to start off the topics here by talking about Blokees. We all love Blokees. I bought some, and actually I cleaned up the office this past weekend, and I put them away. They're in a bag, and I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I don't have room for them. So anyway, we got some new Blokees seen at Toy Fair, and yeah, so we've got Bumblebee is on the screen right now. And that is the kind of like the goldish looking one. It's kind of like a metallic finish on that one. and I guess it's going to be the limited one. We're going to have a what are we looking at here? What's the next one on the list there? You're just going to go through the pictures. Okay. So you're going to look at the stack out. So that's the kind of the way they're going to be seen in the stores. If you've been finding them, that's what they're looking like. And then we've got a nice big display of all of the current lineup of Blokees. So yeah, so there you go. You can definitely take a look at that. And yeah, they're fun. I mean, I don't think Jeremy or Charles have picked up any of them yet, but
No, I haven't seen them.
they're a fun little thing to kind of grab if you're, sitting in the comic book shop and you see them there. They're a neat little trinket to kind of build. It's a very quick build, Charles. You don't have to worry about spending a lot of time, doing it. You don't have to, carve out a section of the day to build it.
I gotta find them in the store somewhere. I haven't seen any Blokees in the wild ever. So
Okay.
tell me where I can find them.
Well, anybody in the Pittsburgh area find some Blokees, let us know, and Charles will go get them. I like the cogless ones that they got here. That looks cool. The Ironhide and the Hound, the cogless ones for them.
Yeah.
The Transformers one, that looks cool. So yeah, looks pretty neat. A bunch of different ones there that you can get. And then obviously we've been talking about it the last couple of weeks. There are some Constructicon vehicles, and it apparently has been confirmed. There is a video out there that these things will combine, which is nuts. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, you've got Scrapper there. Sorry, that's Scavenger. And then, and I think one of the other pictures has another one of them in it.
Yeah.
And these are just small ones too. It's just Scavenger. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. But you can get Scavenger in robot mode, and then you can also get them in vehicle mode. And then yeah, if you collect all 6 of the vehicles, you can combine them into a Blokees Devastator, which is pretty cool.
Not just that. Apparently, it's a Prowlistator with a prowl head.
No shit. Awesome. That's cool. All right.
Cool. Well, next up, I have 2 different roundish Transformer plushies. The first is from T-Turtle, and they are kind of transformable. They'll go from these little plushies with a giant head and tiny body, and then you can turn it inside out, and you get the vehicle mode. So just something fun if you have like small kids or you like the plushies. It looks like it's the perfect size to just throw at someone across the room. So can do that. They have like Optimus, Bumblebee, Starscream, Megatron, and Cheetor, it looks like. So, and Starscream looks like it's his Cybertronian mode, maybe. I don't know, kind of. So check that out. And then we also have next up Beanie Bouncers by Ty, the Beanie Babies people. And these are just round heads of the characters. We see Optimus and Megatron here next to Bluey. Makes you worry about Bluey a little bit, hanging around the wrong crowd. And let's see. They got the faction logos on the back, and then I want to see if I think it is. Oh, it's Optimus, Bumblebee, and Megatron. So,
of course it is.
Yeah. But being that this is Thai, they're gonna be everywhere. You'll see these all over the place. It looks like they're gonna retail for $6. So
they're gonna be highly collectible, and they're gonna be worth a fortune in about a year.
Yeah,
collect them all.
I'm not seeing that.
No? Oh, it's weird.
Buy high, sell low.
Yeah.
Okay, next up, more Toy Fair licensed products. We've got Yolopark showing off all their little model kits. starting with the AMK G1 Transformers. So these are I guess more affordable versions of their AMK Pro G1 line. So these are kits without some of the die cast, without the LEDs, without extra paints and fewer accessories. So a little bit more affordable, but they still look pretty good. You got Bumblebee, Optimus, Megatron. Looks yeah, they still look pretty good. Starscream there as well.
They look really
But
good.
I guess
I think those the Starscream at least looks like it has metal. I don't know. His shoulders or his elbows there look like they're metal. I don't know. They could be plastic. But.
yeah, I mean I don't. I mean I think the pro ones are at least more
Yeah.
more shiny, die casty. I don't know. Uh, we've also got well, I don't know the order of the pictures here, but there's also BMK G1 Transformers, and these are more beginning model kits. So these kits would be those are those are the pro ones. These are
these are
those
the
are the pro ones there.
Ah,
So those are the pro versions of the model kits
Mm-hmm.
you can
with all
tell
the
the
die cast.
the quality level has jumped up significantly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks like they got an ink wash on them or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a Nemesis Prime there. There you go, Jeremy. Nemesis Prime. Starscream there. That one. Are
Sorry.
they have battle damage or just?
I think it's just weathering.
Yeah.
It looks like it's old.
Or it's just been used in a lot of conventions and
No,
is just taking a beating.
I think it was Dr. Pants showed us his, and I think it comes looking weathered and old.
Okay. And then this is a 24-inch Bumblebee movie Optimus Prime version. So that's I don't know what IIES is, but that is the designation for this kit. And you can see it's very heavily detailed and stylized there with a matrix in there. And we've also got the Rise of the Beast Mirage, where I think you guys talked about last week.
Mm-hmm.
Then a Rise of the Beast Ape Link, a Last Night Optimus Prime, and there's more Mirage. There's the Ape Link, close up details of the Ape. Oh, these I think.
Oh wait,
that's just the
background.
Yeah. And then here's the Transformers 1 characters. So we've got both cogless and cog-filled Transformers 1 main characters of Bumblebee, Optimus, Megatron, and Alita 1. So if you want both versions of those. And there's more there's more Rise of the Beasts figures. And those are, looks like all the characters there. There's Bumblebee, there's Cheetor, there's Ape Link again, or is that Optimus Primal?
That's Primal.
Optimus Primals, yeah, and Scourge, and Optimus Prime, and that Rhinox, I believe.
Yeah. And
then the mini G1 figures, so Hound, Hot Rod, Cliff Jumper, RC, Jazz, Prowl. Well, pretty good for smaller figures. And then the mini Bayverse figures. So, there's more mini G1, Ratchet and Ironheart. There mini Bayverse. There's is that Megatron and Optimus? Yeah. And
I think these are the
those are the BMK G1s.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are the less detailed, less articulated model kits for G1 characters. So,
These are the ones where
right.
the boxes. I don't know if it's intentional, but the boxes remind me of the VHS episode boxes a little bit.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, kind of. That background, I think,
Yeah.
helps a lot.
Mhm.
Yeah, you can tell those are the basic. That Starscream was the basic version.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Still
if
really
you are
good.
in, yeah, if you are into the Yolopark figures, lots of things to choose from here. So they were all on display at Toy Fair.
All right. We have the checklist that they were using at uh, Toy Fair, and this thing is awesome. I want this so bad. This is a checklist for Studio Series, and if they don't start including this in the boxes, then I'm going to be really upset. This is reminiscent for all of you old timers like us of the old uh, toy catalog that would come in the old G1 packages. So if you were a kid of the 80s and bought G1 toys, you know that when you opened up a box, you got a toy catalog that on one side was Autobots, the other side was Decepticons, and you would go through and you would fantasize about, being able to get like Omega Supreme, or on the other side you have, oh, that Triptychon looks amazing. I wish I had that, right? All these big toys that you could never afford because your parents were too cheap. So this toy catalog is reminiscent of that exact same thing, and yeah, I love it. The only problem is it's only one sided. It only has the toys on one side. The other side is a promotion piece for the upcoming Studio Series 86 Devastator, which looks great. And yeah, it's probably looking like you got the box art on the top, and then just the kind of the breakdown of the figures on the lower half there. But this thing looks phenomenal.
Is that G1 Windblade's wing on the bottom right for the Studio Series Devastator?
Maybe.
G1 Windblade's
well,
wing?
I mean, it looks like
Oh,
Windblade's
yes,
wing.
it does. It does
So
look like Windblade's wing and RC's head on the other side.
Studio Series 86. So obviously, Windblade was in G1. We just didn't
We
see
all
her.
know that. We all know that she was there. She just didn't have a toy, and she wasn't in any media. She was probably on Cybertron, because that one episode of G1 where all the girls came out, right? Only had 5 of them, right?
I'm sure
then RC
all of
made
her scenes
6.
got edited out. And
Yeah, well, she was probably off, because we know how badass of a warrior she is. She was probably off, keeping everybody, all the Decepticons at bay, while the girls went and visited with their boyfriends, right? So it's ridiculous.
Hey, it was only 4 female Autobots in that one, wasn't it?
well,
I thought it was 5, but
plus Windblade.
That's Windblade. All right. It was Firestar, Moonracer, and Chromia, and then Elita 1, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Is there anybody else?
I mean, I thought it was 5, but you're probably right at 4. So then RC makes 5, and now Windblade is 6. So yeah, I mean, too many girl figures here, guys.
I just find it funny that your Studio Series, so that you would think that there's going to be like detail, like attention to detail on this, and clearly that's Windblade's wing.
Clearly, yeah, for sure.
I mean, if it's supposed to be Studio Series 86, you'd think that in the foreground you'd have the Dinobots attacking, isn't that like
or
that
Cup,
be the iconic scene?
I mean,
yeah,
RC and Cup, or not Cup, Springer, RC and Springer.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think we're focusing too much on the wrong part of this, and the fact that the most iconic part of this is the catalog side and how awesome it is.
There's no inaccuracies on the catalog side.
No. Are there any figures that haven't been announced yet? Right. So that's, the other part of it. So,
I don't think so.
No. I mean, I haven't really, gone through it with a fine tooth comb yet, but everything there, appears to be correct. So, Yeah, I mean, all the tapes are there, so yeah.
I find it hilarious that instead of putting like upcoming figures or teasing additional figures, they saved space for both the dead and alive versions of Ratchet, Brawn, Ironhide, and Prowl. Or not Prowl, but or is Prowl there? I don't know. But
Prowl's,
yeah, so you see at the bottom they have all the dead versions of Prowl, Ironhide, Brawn, and Ratchet, and then at the top you have the alive versions of Prowl,
because they
Ironhide.
had numbers.
Yep, they're numbered.
Number 3 is Ironhide, and number 14 is Dead Prowl and Ironhide.
Huh.
But aren't those Target exclusives? Like they're not even wide release
studio
ones.
series. They have numbers.
And they also have two versions of cup. They have the buzzworthy Bumblebee cup and then the regular cup in two separate images there.
Okay, obviously this needs work. So
Hey, they're just happy that they have it. They need to do it for every line going forward.
come on, why you gotta tear this thing apart, right? I was really happy to see it. Now you're wrecking it for me.
I'm sorry, Daryl. I couldn't help but notice that. But this is still really cool. I still want this. I mean, despite that fact. I mean, I also like and this goes back to the 80s. I like how when you have the list of all the characters in the catalog, they have little empty boxes there so you can check them off as you get them all, because you save up all your pennies, you get every character in the list, you can check them all off. Yeah.
As I go through it, like I never bought, both the alive and dead versions of the figures. I didn't buy the buzzworthy version of Cup because I already had the first one, but I'm going through this and I'm thinking I pretty much have all of these. So I'm pretty happy with the ridiculousness of the, amount that I've spent on this. So yeah, the only one that I don't have, I don't think, is the Scourge. I don't have his sweep, counterpart. I have Scourge, but I don't have sweep. So the unnamed sweep. So yeah, I didn't think I needed that, so I didn't get it. But yeah, this is awesome. I love it. And
now you do, right?
I do. It's on the checklist. It needs to be done. So yeah, I gotta find one. But yeah, I really hope that these things start appearing in the boxes because these are just awesome.
I'm looking forward to the future Studio Series Windblade just to see people's heads explode.
Yeah.
I just want to see the epic level trolling that would bring.
Oh yeah.
All right, well, that's all the quick hits. Now let's jump into the main topic, Toy Fair 2025.
All right, and let's talk crossovers because the collaborations aren't stopping. And the first one we're going to talk about is Transformers and Hot Wheels, because 2024 was a pretty successful year, I think, for people who were able to find the Hot Wheels and Transformers crossovers. So that Mattel side of the crossover went pretty well. Definitely if you were able to find them in the stores, they were pretty hard to find up here.
I've only seen the one gold Bumblebee.
Yeah. So the only one I found was one that DJ Ronan found for me and bought. So that's the only one I've had. And I've gone to the States a bunch for work and I'm looking, so I don't find them. So they need to make them a little bit more available. But other than that, it's been pretty successful, I'm assuming. So 2025, I guess, is going to bring the Transformers or Hasbro side of the equation. And we've got two crossover figures here that are going to be Hot Wheels vehicles, very iconic Hot Wheels vehicles, and transform into hopefully new characters. They don't appear to be anything that I recognize. So
they have names.
They did name them. Okay,
it's whatever the cars are named on the Hot Wheels side.
So I'm looking at the I'm trying to remember the name of the blue car. It's like a twin Twin Mill. Yeah, there it is. It's Twin Mill and Bone Shaker are the two robot names. These, if you've bought any Hot Wheels over the last 40 years, these car molds are iconic with Hot Wheels. So it's fitting that these are the two that they've kind of picked to kind of start the collab with. So very, very cool. I really love the Twin Mill. It looks awesome. Kind of like a surfboard on wheels with 2 engines, which is ridiculous. And I love it. So, yeah, I'm probably in for these. I'm assuming they're part of a 2-pack. But if they sell them as separate, I'm probably getting them as anyway. But they look great, and I'm really in. What do you guys think, Jeremy?
Well, I have one sad thing with this. One thing I loved about Twin Mill was the paint job on this. It has that sparkly blue paint job that you see on the Hot Wheels cars.
Yeah.
And according to Diecast from RFC last night, he said that the production molds are not going to have this paint job. It's just going to be more of a flat paint like we normally get with our figures.
Bullshit.
Yeah, because I mean, if you look at the pictures, the paint job is just fantastic. I mean, just
gorgeous. Yeah,
that sparkly blue paint looks so good. So
why would they do that to us?
Money, I'm sure, but if we don't get that, that's going to be very disappointing. But other than that, I think they look really good. I'd say the head on what was it, bone shaker. I think the head looks a little bit too friendly for the rest of the body. I don't know. I mean, you get this giant skull in the midsection and stuff, and then it looks a little too friendly on the head. It looks like it's like a modified Soundwave head, though. I don't know.
It could be. I mean, he's got
you find Soundwave particularly friendly?
Well, no, but Soundwave doesn't have a big skull in his chest.
He's got red eyes. He's got exhaust pipes coming out the sides of his heads. I mean, he looks pretty violent.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that they look really good though, and like I recognize the cars right away, like you said. I mean, if you have bought any Hot Wheels, you would have seen these at some point. So
yeah,
really cool. I wasn't really expecting the collab to go on this side. I thought it was just they were licensing it on the Mattel side. So happy that we're seeing these.
Mm-hmm. Charles.
These look pretty good. I really like the Bone Shaker one. It reminds me of Bludgeon. I know it's not the skull's not his head, but it just reminds me of Decepticon Bludgeon with the big skull. I mean, even if it's on his chest, I like the look of it in both car mode and robot mode. The Twin Mill is less appealing to me. Just not my thing. And now hearing that the paint job is not going to be as good in the real production, I can probably skip it. But I think I might pick up the Bone Shaker.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to mention is that if the paint on them is not going to be what we see here, then the Bone Shaker is probably going to look like the way it looks here at the show. The paint job's going to be much more, a lot similar to what what it's looking like here, because there's no like metal flake or anything on this. It's just
and you can tell the flames on there are stickers.
Mm-hmm.
So I imagine that would be tampoed on.
Yeah, right on.
And I'm hoping we're wrong about the blue paint, but that was just what Diecast said after talking with the people.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we have some Age of the Prime figures and the Void Rivals SDCC set reveal. So here we have the Combaticons. You got Vortex official images of him. Not really a lot of paint on Vortex, just a blue stripe down the top. Kind of wish he had a little bit more color to him, but looks fine. Then you can see the packaging. And then we have this isn't part of the Combaticons, but a reissue of the Crasher figure we got a while back. But it's in Age of the Primes packaging, but it is just a straight up reissue. So if you missed out on the Crasher, you can pick that up. I think this was in what?
War for Cybertron.
Yeah, the War for Cybertron trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because it's a repaint of Mirage, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. All right, and then she's listed as Decepticon Crasher, so no, not a Renegade. And then we have Alchemist Prime, which he looks okay here in robot mode. You can see he's got a little mustache and a goatee. Always like to have Transformers with facial hair. And then he turns into kind of a military SUV type vehicle. He is going to be, crap, I can't remember the size. I think he's a Voyager, right?
It says Deluxe.
Oh, Deluxe. Okay. So he looks okay. Not really, like, I was expecting much more from the Primes just in general from what we've seen.
What is his weapon? Is it like, it just looks like
some Energon thing. I don't know. It's got some symbol on it. I guess that's his symbol. He can hold it from both hands and they can combine.
Lenses artifact, 2-piece lenses artifact accessory. I don't know what lenses they are.
Like it's glasses or something. That looks like, I don't know. But they kind of remind me of cyber keys.
Yeah. Except they go on
especially with the symbol on the one.
Yeah. The next pictures we have are the Void Rivals set. This is San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, and it's got Jetfire, reissue of the Jetfire we recently had. With looks like might have a slightly different paint job. And then we have the was 3 3/4 sized Derek and Sylvia. And this is actually coming with a reprinting of Void Rivals #1 with Marcelo doing the cover art. So all of that's going to be part of the package. And I actually missed this. I don't think we saw it last night when I was on the stream, but I actually saw Marcelo tweet about it, and that's how I saw the whole set. So that's all I got here. I really think that the Void Rivals set looks good. I'm not, it's a San Diego exclusive, so I'm not going to get it. But I think the 3 3/4 figures, I think, look just like they did with the comic. So great job on putting that together. So what do you guys think of these reveals?
Good. I mean, I think, Vortex, of course, tells us that we're getting the Combaticons combiner, so that's eventually coming. Crasher is just a reissue, so not really much to say there. Alchemist Prime looks good. I mean, I am not doing the collect all the primes, so I am probably not.
Yes, you are.
Alchemist Prime.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. The Void Rival set looks good, although I feel it's a little it feels a little bait and switchy where they make Jetfire so prominent when in the comic he was there for like a second and just like pieced out on those guys. Like he didn't help them. They didn't ride around in them. They didn't like have adventures together. I think it makes more sense to have like Springer and Hot Rod with the Void Rivals characters. But
then you couldn't reprint issue 1. And we know Skybound loves to reprint issue 1 of everything.
That is true. And the press release doesn't say it's an SDCC exclusive. Do we know that for sure?
I think that's what Marcelo tweeted. And I think we had
Okay.
that
All right.
news before, but I don't know if it's a wider release. That's great. One thing I just realized to go along with the comic, his faction symbol's been painted completely white because in the comic he was not part of the war at all. He has a
Mhm.
faction.
Yep. That's cool. Very comic accurate there.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hoping it's not an exclusive because I missed out on this figure, so it'd be nice to get it.
This set's going to be expensive.
Yeah.
Just saying and I mean, it was kind of funny because didn't we, when they first announced like Void Rivals is going to be the Skybound Void Rivals book is going to be where Transformers were coming back, and it was going to be part of the the Hasbro Energon verse. I think we speculated that we were going to get figures of these characters at some point.
Well,
So,
because Hasbro owns the characters.
yeah.
And that was like surprising.
Robert Kirkman made the deal to like give his right. Like, I mean, I'm sure he was paid handsomely to sell the rights to these characters to Hasbro, but
He's famously generous.
The fact that he relinquished his rights to the character. I mean, because he never does that. He never relinquishes the rights to characters he's created. That's the whole deal at Image is that you own the characters you create. So
yeah, but I mean, I'm sure like you said, Hasbro probably paid him, and then the sales numbers have been so good. I mean,
yeah,
it was probably a very good business deal.
Probably, yeah. And I'm sure he's excited to have action figures of his original characters created like less than 2 years after they were initially published.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he's happy about that. All right. Well, last bit of Toy Fair news. So we've got another Age of the Primes reveal, and this is Onyx Prime. And we did see box art of Onyx Prime a couple weeks ago that we talked about. But now here is the figure in the plastic flesh. So yes, Onyx Prime, and he is a like centaur figure with the upper torso, and then he's got
they described him as a griffin.
So that's his beast mode. So beast mode is a griffin, but then his quote unquote robot mode, he's still got doesn't he still have the centaur body?
Well, so he has the robot mode here with just the hooves, and then I think he has like a four-legged.
He doesn't. Okay,
he's still bipedal.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought I saw he had the 6 leg, or maybe.
Yeah, he has a 6-legged mode.
You wish.
Wait, that's his beast mode. And then here on the right here, you have a 4-legged mode. There we go. That one.
See the triple changer then?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there. So yeah, so he can fold up his extra legs and put them in his back pocket or something. I don't know when he's yeah, but I mean,
you'll have to tell us about it when you get it.
Okay, I might get this one. This is just so unique. I might get this one.
Yeah,
I might get this one.
And then you're gonna have
you're getting it.
But yeah, the box calls out this triple changer.
So yeah, and this is and I believe the press release says this is a leader class.
Yeah.
So this Onyx Prime is a leader class figure. So it's
need all that extra plastic for all those legs.
Yeah. Well, I think that beast mode was mistransformed on the table. Yeah, so this one, it only shows the two, like, front legs and hind legs, and then the box shows here it shows middle legs there. So
well, Yeah, so that's Onyx Prime, and then we've also got Studio Series Gamer Edition, Devastation, Elite Seeker, and Ground Soldier 2 pack. So from the Devastation video game, you can get basically a repaint of Ramjet and a repaint of Runabout slash Runamuck, and these were the you know, foot soldiers in the game that you would endlessly destroy as your Autobot character. So if you want another Seeker and another Decepticon Ground Trooper, you can pick those up.
I
I
want this
will
so
probably
bad.
pass on those. Really? I'm
Yep.
passing on those guys.
We need more army builder type.
It's not the fact that it's an army builder. It's just the fact that this was the most prominent figure in the game, and this is just it was just like the fun little, like, you know, beat 'em up, you know, cannon fodder. And I fully expect this 2-pack to come out in different colors, because I think there was 3 different colors for each class of Seeker and Ground Trooper. So
has the car been used for Run Amok yet? Just in general?
Run Amok and Runabout. They both came out already. What is it? Run Amok? Is that the black colored color? Is that he's really hard to find now. Like, he's quite
Run Amok is the white one. Runabout is the black one.
Okay, well, Runabout is extremely hard to find now.
I mean, they could do a 5-pack, do Run Amok, Runabout, and then 3 colored variants, and just do the same car. You get 5 of them.
That's ridiculous. I don't remember these guys having swords, though. I got to play that game again.
It's great that you get 2 Optimus Primal swords.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, continuing with the reveals, we got the Wreck and Doom collection 2-packs, and first one is Carnivac and Physitron, also known as Iron Fist, but I'm sure they can't name him Iron Fist because of Marvel licensing. But Carnivac,
why don't they call him Fistitron?
Because it was Physitron in the comics.
I know, but you change it to, I mean, at least Fistitron is closer.
But that's not what it was in the comics. In the comics, he was Physitron.
But it's not. They're not calling him that either, though.
Yeah, he is
Yes,
Physitron.
they are. He's Physitron. That was his screen name when he was doing the Wrecker Diaries in Last Stand of the Wreckers.
Oh, I see.
So that's why.
So Fistitron.
Yes, I know. Yes, I know you do. You want.
I also enjoy the fact that I'm saying Fistitron on a podcast.
Yes, say it lots of times, Daryl. Get it all out of your system. But we've also got Carnivac. Carnivac is of course, not a pretender, unfortunately. So no pretender shell with Carnivac.
But where you going, Jeremy?
Sorry, I thought they were having more pictures of these figures we're talking about.
Nope.
No, it's just a couple. But yeah, Carnivac and Physitron. This is a 2-pack I think I'm in for, and then the other 2-pack is just a re-release of Spinister and is it? No, it's not.
Top Spin.
Top Spin.
Mm-hmm.
So those are old figures. They're just re-releasing. But I guess Spinister does get his Target Master partners. Is this still the Power of the Primes Top Spin? That's still a Headmaster?
Yeah, Top Spin and Carnivac are both Headmasters.
I mean, that's the Diaclone coloring for the Top Spin, but
yes,
they really should just do the fandom a favor and just re-release it in the proper G1 colors, because that figure is also really hard to get now too.
Mm-hmm. I guess so. This Carnivac must be a Weird Wolf repaint.
Yeah.
Then.
Yeah, and they did say there was like a easy breakage point on the Weird Wolf that they fixed with this. I'm not sure where it was, but there was like a place that would easily break.
Okay.
It was the part that opens up that you could put the head in wolf mode. Because it was made of clear plastic, so the hinge would break.
Okay, and then we've got more pictures of the Generation Selects Titan Triptychon. So that was the re-release of the Power of the Primes Triptychon. And we've got more Age of the Primes, Cybertron Sideways and Cybertron Excellion. So these are new. So Sideways, this is also, I think when we were looking at this a few episodes ago, we look at a listing, it said Noise Maze, and Noise Maze is apparently the Japanese name for Sideways. And that was thank you to listener Harrison Whaley 7872 on YouTube, who told us that Sideways is Noise Maze. So that
It comes with a Cyber Planet key as well.
Sideways looks like identical to his original toy. I really like the original toy, so yeah.
Yeah. And Excellion is a repaint of Cybertron Hotshot, I guess. Looks pretty good. And then we've got the Studio Series Perceptor with the Ramhorn and Ratbat 2-pack. So more additional tapes from the Studio Series 86 movie.
Oh, we've already had those tapes. They just are now packaged with Perceptor and have weapons.
We had Ramhorn before? I don't remember Ramhorn.
We haven't had those tapes yet.
Oh, I mean, I have a Ratbat.
From what?
I can't remember. Maybe it's from the War for Cybertron trilogy, but it's the same mold.
Okay, well, I think the Ramhorn is new. Yeah, Ramhorn is a new mold, but Ratbat might be a reuse. Perceptor is definitely a reissue. But yeah, that Ramhorn looks pretty good.
So Alex in the chat says Ratbat was in Siege and Ramhorn is a new mold.
And of course, we've got more after this. We've got more pictures of the Hearts of Steel figures. So there's Megatron and Bumblebee. That 2-pack is not up for order yet, but then we also have the Optimus Prime and Starscream, which is up for pre-order. I have already pre-ordered these guys, so looking forward to them. I will definitely pre-order the Megatron and Bumblebee when they finally get that out. And we talked about those already. And then they also showed off all the Cyberworld figures. So we're going to hold off on talking about Cyberworld until alt mode, but yeah, Cyberworld is the new media project from Hasbro. It's going to be YouTube shorts, and then this is the toy line. It's a kids' toy line to go along with that. So, yeah, this is for the kids, not for us. But looks interesting, and we'll talk all about that in alt mode. There's Star Convoy again, so more. These are figures that have already been released. Star Convoy, the Fallen, G2 Grimlock, Prima.
This is just their diorama that they did.
Yeah. So a lot of new stuff. I mean, a fair amount of new stuff. Anything that caught your eye there, Daryl?
Just the Devastation 2-pack. I've really slowed down on my my figure buying. Just on the there's a lot of repaints and such, and I'm working my way through the paying for the Studio Series 86 Devastator, which is a bit of a spicy meatball in and of itself. So yeah, so I'm a bit more selective on what I'm going to get. And they're Hasbro, is doing a big, push on like the universe kind of stuff. They're remaking old figures, which is, I mean, that's kind of what they do. But a lot of the old figures that I currently own are being remade right now, and Sideways is a perfect example where I really love the old figure, so I'm not real interested in replacing it with a new one, regardless of new engineering technology. I really like that old figure, and I have fond memories of picking it up. I remember buying it as a junker, and then finding pieces here and there, and kind of putting it back, bringing it back to health and kind of thing. So making a complete one out of it. So there's a bit of a nostalgia for me with that one. So specifically on that one, it's it's going to be a pass for me. But it's I also am not super fond of the 2-pack ideas that they keep going with. Not a lot of stuff in this package is single release figures. A lot of multi-packs going on, and if I want a figure, I want to just go out and get the one figure I want. I don't want to have to be saddled with a second figure or third or fourth figure that I don't want. Right. So yeah, I've never really been fond of the multi-pack idea. I know it works real well with, sales numbers and such, but that kind of marketing kind of counts me out. So yeah. Anyway, most of the time, just because of my connection with the store that I help out at, a lot of these things kind of make their way into the store anyway, as after they've been opened. So I'll be able to pick them up in Singleton, after that. But yeah, anyway, a lot of cool stuff is coming out. I'm sure a lot of people over different like generations of Transformers are excited to see different things. Like I said about the top spin, I'd really like them to kind of help a lot of fans out by re-releasing it in the original colors. Not that I'm too concerned because I have the original one, but it's it would actually hurt the value of my original one because I think it's upwards of like $75 to $100 value right now. But it would be nice for those other fans to be able to get those jump starters, again, because they were late wave. So yeah, it would be nice for them to be able to get those again. But yeah, that's just the kind of the way it is, and yeah, I don't know. I'll pick up what I can and what kind of interests me, but nothing kind of jumps out at me other than that 2-pack of Devastation figures.
Jeremy, what do you think? Anything you looking for here?
The Hearts of Steel figures interest me, but I have not decided if I'm pre-ordering it yet. I mean, I might just wait and see what I see on store shelves, but they look fantastic, especially that Megatron. The Megatron looks great. Mm-hmm. The Onyx Prime is interesting, but it also looks overly complicated. Like, just like looking at it in the in the different modes, there's not a lot of paint details. It's all gold, which also worries me. But it's just, I don't know. I'm on the fence about that too. But I also agree about the multi-pack because having 2 of the 3 for that like that Perceptor set just to get the ram horn. I hate that they're doing that.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
If they're gonna do something like that, give us more, like a different paint job, or just make it worth our while. But either that or just give us the tapes as well, just by themselves. But I think that's
what they did before, where you could just have like that select box where it was literally just 4 tapes, right?
Right. Do that. Don't make us have to also buy a Perceptor, which increases their production costs and their shipping costs and everything. Give us a box of tapes.
Yeah, that makes you guys are totally on the nail for that. But I don't think Hasbro's listening, unfortunately. Maybe if the sales drop if on those 2 packs, maybe that'll help. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably going to be part of the problem because I got to get that Carnivac and Physitron pack. I think I'm in for that one at least.
Yeah, I mean
Mhm.
that one I think looks good, and if you missed out on the older ones, I mean,
Mhm.
I don't know, the colors on Physitron look a little bit off to me, but someone pointed out last night it might just be because the way the comic was colored, and the toy is not colored in the same way. It's not as dark. So
Let me ask you this: um, do you think the rule still applies that they're, once they do a figure, they're going to finish off the set of like the subset of figures, kind of thing? Do you think that rule
are you
still
talking about
applies
like
at
for
Hasbro?
the wreckers
Yeah, well, not
or?
just wreckers. Like, I mean, like if they started to do the throttle bots, do you think that rule still applies?
I mean, I think when they call it out in a particular series, like you have the Wreck and Doom, so they're doing those characters. Throttlebots, they aren't really calling it out, are they? I
Mhm.
mean, it's not like the Insecticons where it's clear this is
Yeah.
a team of unique figures. The Throttlebots are just like, they're look like any of the other Autobots.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what I'm getting at is that the that Carnivac is a pretender that very clearly is very different than any other character in the line. Now, yes, they've removed his pretender shell, and his figure is literally just his inner robot. Um, you know, are they going to do more of these animal pretenders? That's a subset of a subset. Are they going to do
Well,
more pretenders?
I mean, the Decepticons in the set are the Mayhem Attack Squad, right, Charles? So that's got other
Yeah.
pretenders.
Right.
Catilla was one,
Yep. It's another
and
animal one.
Snarler.
Yep.
Snarler
Yep.
was a warthog one.
Yep.
So
Okay. We'll
I mean,
see.
the thing is, though, Carnivac they just repurpose Weird Wolf. Do we have a warthog and a cat we can repurpose to
I mean, a
for the
cat,
other
yes, very,
characters?
very much so. But a warthog, I think you could probably do the same mold with Carnivac. You just change the head sculpt, but
Mhm.
but the but yeah, it's um, but I mean, at that point, you really only have the the what's his name, something claws something. I think that the
Polar
bear
Claw
one. No, the bear
or
pretender. Um, he's a grizzly bear, but I think there's only he's the only one left that's not that doesn't is not on that kind of that list of pretenders. Anyway, it's
Mm.
it just I'm wondering if that rule's kind of still kicking around that once they kind of start a sub team that they're going to finish that team.
I mean, I think it's the designer's desire to have complete teams. So I mean, I think it's not so much a rule as they are trying to do it to because they're fans and
Mhm.
they want to satisfy fans. So I think if they can make it if they can possibly do it, they will try. But if it's not in the cards, and it's not in the cards. And I looked it up on the TF wiki. It was Chain Claw was the
Chain
other
claw,
pretender
that's right.
beast.
Yeah.
So
Hmm. Yeah.
so I guess we'll keep an eye out. But that's all from Toy Fair. I missed the live stream, but I hope you guys had fun there,
yeah, it
Jeremy.
was a lot of fun.
So hope what any insights from the RFC folks? Were
I
they
mean,
were they excited
just
about this stuff?
uh, here and there. I mean, I pointed out the things that like diecast like said from the show floor, but
Hmm.
we were just kind of looking at everything as it was coming out. So like all the different stuff, like hey, loyal subjects are doing mask toys that are essentially just rescans of the original, and then a few fixes here and there. So I'm kind of interested in that. Just maybe getting one or two of the figures I had as a kid, but yeah, I mean, it was more just kind of, we hadn't, like, a lot of us hadn't talked with each other in years. It's been like 4 years since Kilby had done one of these streams, so it's just fun to talk and catch up.
Yeah. This was like, we haven't had like a toy fair that did big reveals in a while either, have we?
Yeah,
Since like,
I mean, but really, I think a lot of these we knew so much about. It was kind of disappointing, and I mean, we'll talk about the cyber world stuff in alt mode, but I mean, even that, I'm kind of disappointed. I mean, I know what it's targeting and stuff, but it's just,
yeah.
It's, with the exception of a couple figures that I'm excited to talk about.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let's continue on with the rest of the show. We've got trips to the store.
The Transmissions Podcast will return after these messages.
And Trips to the Store is powered by our friends at TeePublic. You can get all our merchandise at our TeePublic store. That's at transmissionspodcast.com/TeePublic. Sorry. Transmissionspodcast.com/TeePublic. You can get all our Transmissions merchandise there, but you can get any kind of merchandise from TeePublic. There's lots of licensed merchandise up there. Anything you buy from that link from TeePublic will help out the show. So please check that out. All right, we're going to show off the stuff we got this week. I'm going to go first. I don't have anything new, but I did want to show, I did take out my Mandalorian figure, Mandalorian Transformer. Here he is. Very cool. And the little Grogu pod pops off
Oh,
separate.
that's cool. I don't think we saw that in the pictures at all.
Yeah, so it's a little separate pod that can fly around, and you can have the Blastiflex like it's flying around like it's a separate pod. And thanks to Alex again, I did pick up the little mini Grogu, and he does fit inside the cockpit right there. There he is. Sorry for the focus. Doesn't really focus there.
There you go. Kind of.
Yeah. Almost.
Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, there it is.
Cool.
And yeah, cockpit closes, fits inside. And I've also got his little bassinet, space bassinet that came with the figure. So
Do the blast effects connect to that?
no. But yeah, I mean, this is a cool figure. He's got the blast effects go back on his jetpack as well. So like when he's in oops, jeez, sorry.
It's broken now.
It's fine. It's okay. But yeah, he's got the guns on the Mandalorian fighter become his basically jetpack in robot mode. So you can put the blast effects on there. No, this is the wrong one. Whatever. You get the idea. There he
Cool.
is. This is the way. All right, Jeremy, what do you got?
Well, after we had talked, I figured I'd show off something else too. But the first thing, I opened my Tarn finally, and this figure is a lot of fun. I forgot until taking him out just how like thin he was. I mean, they did a fantastic job with that because there's like no backpack at all, and that's great. I mean, it's just he's got the shoulders. They just put everything that would be in the backpack on his shoulders, but just a fantastic looking figure. The colors and everything just are really great. And then I had mentioned with my Missing Link Optimus, they took out the launcher for Roller, and there's no place to like store Roller now without him moving around. So I've been working on making a 3D model after the launcher piece of the original one, and there's two ports on either side. So this one isn't quite there. It's just a little bit off on being able to get in the two plugs, and it's a little rough. But my plan is so this part fits in really good, and then I want to have a little thing here for it to just kind of hook into, so it'll just stay in one piece in the trailer without rolling around. So
how's that going to connect to the trailer?
It's there's the two ports. So these two right here.
Oh, okay.
It would just go right there, like with this piece in. There's just no launcher component at all. So, so there's just nothing for roller. He just kind of sits there. So I wanted to just have something that would just hold him in there. So when I get it worked out, I'll put the model up for people to download and print if they want to.
What if I told you that there is supposed to be a launcher piece there and yours is just missing?
Then I would be upset. But I'm still doing it.
It's not. I don't know actually.
I know.
So.
No, I mean I got my reissue one. I was kind of basing it off of that. So I mean, it sits in the same spot. There's still the two ports there, so it'll be
looks good.
Good enough. And basically, I just don't want to lose the roller, so I want to be able to have it in there.
All right. Daryl, what do you got?
All right. Continuing the theme of not having anything new, I took something out of the cabinet behind me just because I hadn't showed it off in a while, and I was able to access it. This is Fans Project's Intimidator. This was my first third-party combiner, and I was really excited, and I still am really into it. This is a figure that this is third-party Menasor, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about and are just listening. But it is made up of real-world cars the Fans Project used to make the Stunticons, and you've got a Lamborghini in here. A
it was
Ferrari.
Totally licensed the car designs, right?
Oh yes, very yeah. Yep. And I think actually you have two Lamborghinis, and then you've got an F1 racer or something like that, I think, but I have to double check on that. And then the truck is like a big diesel one. The Motor Master figure, which I think they call Diesel, is still probably the hardest figure I've ever had to transform in my entire life. It is a nightmare. So the way it looks right now in Menasor or Intimidator mode is the way that I put it, I don't know, 10 years ago, and I've never changed it because I am terrified to have to do it again. It is a absolute nightmare to have to transform this thing. But it's a gorgeous looking third-party figure. It is a small combiner. It's they qualified it as being I guess chug scale at the time, so deluxe scale. But at the time it was this was what everyone was doing. So, this was the thing. It's very cool, and I love this thing. It's super intricate, and I love the alt modes of the vehicles, and yeah, he's awesome. So I had access to this thing tonight, and I took it out of the cabinet behind me. So yeah. Also, I remember being able to afford this thing, like the individual cars, like the arms and legs. I think they were $60 a piece at the time, and then the torso, the Motor Master Diesel, I think he was like 140. Like, this thing was not very expensive to get into. You could finish the whole thing for $300. So yeah, that was the benefit of collecting third party back in the day. So yeah, I love this thing. There's a lot of nostalgia for me, when I check this thing out. So yeah, that's what I got.
All right. Well, that wraps up our trips to the store. Let's move on with the rest of the show.
We now return to the Transmissions Podcast.
Let's do some convention news.
All right, we've got some TFcon LA announcements that is coming up imminently. I believe it's this weekend. Yeah, this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
They have announced their T-shirt, which is based on the Los Angeles Lakers logo and colors. If you're familiar with that, so I mean, essentially, it's a silhouette of Cybertron as a yellow circle, and then Los Angeles TFcon in the Lakers purple. So I thought that was a very creative use of, the the Lakers imagery here in Los Angeles. So that was really cool. Next up, we have an exclusive, the Fans Hobby MB25A Obsidian Blade. This is, I believe it's with the Jetfire that goes along with the Optimus Prime, the Obsidian Commander Optimus Prime. You're in robot mode. I guess it's the wing jet mode, and then them together. And this is what the Energon or Cybertron Optimus Prime design, right? And then we have the combined with him as the wings for the Obsidian Commander. So I think this looks really good. I love the black and the red, like all the coloring on here. Just it goes really great color scheme, and looks really good. This is going to be priced at $165 at the Chosen Prime booth, and it's limited to 500 pieces worldwide. March 7th, premium ticket holders can get it, and then Saturday, March 8th, it'll be available to anyone as long as it lasts. So, Daryl, what are your thoughts on this? I'm sure you're more familiar with the original figure than the rest of us.
Yeah, I have the original figure, both with the Jetfire and the Optimus as well, and I like them. I like them combined. Unlike you, though, I'm not super sold on the black repaint. I like the original one myself. So if I were going to TFcon LA, I probably wouldn't be picking this up. Not to mention that it's crazy expensive. So it's I mean, I don't believe you're getting both of them at the same time, but I mean, it's really not that bad, I guess, if you're looking at just buying the one. But it's one of those things that you have to buy. If you buy one, you're buying the other one too, right? So
yeah, I mean, hasn't the other one already come out?
I believe so. I think it was.
I mean, if you missed that
last year,
if you missed that, then maybe only get this one to resell.
Yeah.
Charles, what were your thoughts on this?
It's a big meh for me. I was never really into the Energon Optimus, and yeah, it's not doing it for me. So everyone else who likes it, enjoy, get it, have fun with it.
All right. Well, we have one. Oh, anything else?
No, I was just saying, Brooke, for me, it's not for me. That's all.
All right. We have one more exclusive, and this is the Make Toys MTRC 11 Wingnut and MTRC 12 die job. This is exclusive with TF Source and limited to just 200 pieces worldwide. And they are it's a Seeker with the lighter blue, and then the Thundercracker darker blue versions of the Seeker. So MTRC 12 is the darker blue and 11 is the lighter one. These look great, but we've seen this mold before. I don't see anything on price here. They don't have the price listed, but
probably $110 or $120. They're always $110 or $120. This has got to be the 30th time they've remolded this thing.
Yeah.
I like that they called the dark blue one dye job. That's funny.
Yeah, I mean, I will say the paint on the dark blue one looks fantastic. I mean, Thundercracker he was the one I had as a kid, so I always have like a connection to that one, and I think they did a really good job with the paint job there. So, what do you guys think about these?
It's just a Seeker.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of this Seeker from them. When they first announced this color verse, I remember asking the owner of TF Source, who was standing at his booth, I said, this colorverse thing, is this going to be something other than the Seekers? And he's like, well, you just have to wait and see. And all we've seen is Seekers. It's ridiculous.
You got to keep waiting and seeing, Daryl.
Yeah. I mean, there are other things that they like. You could do like Bumblebee and do the millions of different colors, or there's so many characters that just have repaints, like crazy. But that's all the convention news we have. We have some like guest announcements in alt mode, but yeah, TFcon LA is coming up and looks like it's going to be a fun show.
All right. I propose we skip feedback and just do that next time, since we're already an hour and a half. All right. Well, that's all the convention news, and that'll take us to the end of this episode. We do have some feedback, but we're going to hold it till the next episode since we're already running a little bit long. But don't worry, we've got a bunch of discussions that people wrote in about, so we'll tackle that in a future episode. So let's wrap it up here. Of course, at the end of every episode, we give a shout out to our masterpiece donatrons. These are the folks that continue to support the podcast at our highest level on Patreon. So thank you once again to John 4x11 Good and Steve C. You get a shout out in every episode. Thank you so much for supporting us. Of course, thank you to all our Donatron supporters. So if you are not a Donatron supporter and would like to become one, just go to transmissionspodcast.com/support, and that's where you can sign up. And I do want to give a shout out to our newest Donatron supporter, Dakota. So Dakota just joined this week. Thank you, Dakota, for becoming a new Donatron. That's
right on.
Cool.
Join the Discord.
Yes.
Yeah, get in there.
Let us know what you think. Of course, as a Donatron, you get some perks. That includes all the episodes of our bonus show, We Like Big Bots. There's 14 episodes of that available. Daryl and Dr. Pants going through all the biggest bots in their collection. We've got Empire of Rust, our Transformers Live Play RPG podcast. It's still currently on hiatus, but there's a special show called The Hate Plague, where they do a video and audio version of a live play RPG adventure with Transformers using the Renegade Games Transformers rule set. So this is separate from the normal Empire of Rust, where they're using the Starfinder custom built game setup. So check out that. The episode 3 of the Hate Plague special is out this week, so you can should already be available to you, so you can check it out either in audio in our podcast feed at transmissionspodcast.com/rust or on our YouTube channel and video. So check that out. Next week will be the parts 4 and 5. So part 4 is the end of the story, and then part 5 is kind of an epilogue wrap up. So those 2 episodes will be out next week, and then we will go back to regular episodes of Empire of Rust. So not much longer for everyone who's waiting. Not much longer. And we've still got copies of our exclusive Skybound Transformers #1 comic with artwork by EJ Sue. You can order that at transmissionspodcast.com/comic. And of course, remind you again that we still have our Toyhax March promo code Playback. So use that code Playback at toyhax.com for 15% off all your orders at toyhax.com. So there's no limit, no restrictions there, other than you can't combine promo codes with other promo codes, but you can use that throughout the month of March, and it will be good. So that's it, everyone. Thanks again for watching and listening. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Later.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Transmissions. If you'd like to join the conversation, travel to our Discord channel at transmissionspodcast.com/Discord. Want some cool transmission swag? Feast your eyes on our transmissions gear at transmissionspodcast.com/shop. If you'd like to support our podcast, go to transmissionspodcast.com/support or tell your friends about our show. We'll see you next time.